What's up, Grizz Nation? Meghan, Triplett, Mike Wallace here with you for your Grizzly Weekly Update. Mike, the Grizzlies just wrapped up a 4-game homestand where they went 3-1. We ended up with a thrilling overtime victory against the Boston Celtics. But what did you learn about this group during this homestand?
I learned that this team can play many different styles and figure out a way to still win games. I mean, when you open a homestand with an 89-85 throwback 1990 style victory against the Miami Heat, and you ended scoring 130 plus points against the Boston Celtics, you're doing it in a number of different ways. That's a maturation of the second youngest team in the league, and they have to just continue to stay, composed. They have to stay eager. They have to keep driving, but they can win whether you slow it down and it's a defensive slugfest, Meghan, or they can speed it up and run you by forcing turnovers and getting out in transition and scoring a lot of points and sharing the basketball a lot, setting a season high with assists, and then obviously tying a franchise record for points in the paint. What did you see during the 4-game homestand?
I mean, you talk about kind of just like that they can play many different ways. I learned that they can respond. You go all the way back to that Miami Heat game. Every single game, besides that Golden State Warriors loss, you saw them improve. And you talk about Coach Meghan said consistency. You saw the team start to communicate, get the fast break points, share the ball, pick up the pace a little bit. So we know that this team can respond. And the word that you said a couple weeks ago, finish.
Yes, that was key. Finishing, finding a way to get better and improve from the previous night. They've done that. These games are coming in bunches. And speaking of coming in bunches, we wrapped up 4 at home. Now we have 4 on the road, starting with Wednesday night's trip to Oklahoma City. Now, the last time the Grizzlies played the Thunder, it wasn't pretty at all. It was probably one of their worst losses of the season because of effort and focus and concentration defensively. Now, when you look at this 4-game road trip that starts in Oklahoma City, goes to Utah, and then wraps up in Houston, what are the objectives right now that you see the Grizzlies, and what do you expect from them over this next 4?
Well, I mean, you take the Celtics overtime win.
Yeah.
You think that they had that momentum going in. And I said again, how they respond. The Celtics, we played them earlier in the season, and it was a bad loss that time too, but they responded. Coach Meghan said they took the time to watch some film. They knew what they had to do. Even during halftime, they watched some film and said, okay, they're getting too many free looks. Let's pick up the defense. Let's pick up the pace. So going to Oklahoma City Thunder, watching the film, they're practicing, they're traveling. How are they going to get back to just playing that Grizzlies type of basketball? You said 80 points in the paint, tying the franchise record, 20 fast break points. Let's continue to do what we know what we can do. The small things lead to the big things. The defense leads to the offense. It'll all be a good little puzzle piece.
You talked about finish. We talked about continuity. We talked about consistency. That's going to be the key now. Can you take that consistent effort on the road? Now, there are a couple of things that are going to happen in the next few weeks. The trade deadline is at the end of this week, so that's coming up. What changes or tweaks or nothing at all will the Grizzlies do in the next coming couple of days? And then beyond that, by the time this road trip ends, we'll probably get another update on Jaren Jackson Jr., presumably based on the timeline that we heard about before. So we'll see where Jaren goes in terms of going into April. It's a lot to look forward to. The Grizzlies are hitting back on the road. Let's see if they can keep this momentum going. For Meghan, Triplett, I'm Michael Wallace. Keep it locked on all of our coverage at Grizzlies.com.